Questions in one bag. Scott's Turf Builder Southern Triple Action, starting at $24.98. It feeds your lawn, it weeds your lawn, and it prevents fire ants for up to 6 months. 3 of this area's most common lawn problems, now with one innovative solution. Scott's Turf Builder Southern Triple Action, starting at $24.98 a bag, now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Selection varies by store.
Are you looking for senior care for your mom or dad but don't know where to start? Hi, I'm Jen London with The Place for Mom. Nobody knows your parent or loved one better than you, and nobody knows senior living better than the experts at A Place for Mom. They've helped thousands of families find the right place for their mom or dad.
I was so glad that I called A Place for Mom. My advisor really listened and was truly my partner in finding senior care for my dad. She went out of her way to get to know him as a person and was always there whenever I had a question.
The senior living advisors at A Place for Mom partner with thousands of families every month, listening and offering local knowledge and advice to help find the best senior living communities across the country. And it's a free service. Here's the number.
Call A Place for Mom at 1-800-467-7530.
There's a place for answers, a place for mom. Call today.
Call A Place for Mom at 1-800-467-7530. That's 1-800-467-7530.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-523-3493. That's 800-523-3493. Again, 800-523-3493.
You owe over $10,000 in back taxes. You've called every tax firm out there. They all say the same thing, making promises they never keep, and you're sick of it. What you really need is a new start on your back taxes. If you're faced with garnishments, levies, audits, or years of unfiled tax returns, we'll fight to get you the new start you deserve. Call 1-800-312-9970. Our New Start program could stop collection efforts, remove any liens the IRS has in place, and help you reduce your back taxes by as much as 80%. That's right, 80%. Don't wait until another tax season ends and another year of penalties and interest are added to your balance. If you owe at least $10,000 to the IRS and need a new start on your back taxes, call 1-800-312-9970. That's 1-800-312-9970. Let the professionals at Coast One Financial Group fight to get you the new start you deserve. Again, that's 1-800-312-9970.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Ventilation Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants. With Wave units, there are no buckets of water or filters, and they cost only pennies a day to run. Wave can transform your home into a drier, healthier environment. Satisfaction guaranteed. Ask about our indoor air package that includes the Wave Ventilation Unit plus a 6-stage portable air purifier. Dealer opportunities available. For more information, visit dryhousenow.com. That's dryhousenow.com, or call 888-979-WAVE. That's 888-979-WAVE.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Center is Phil Ceccinelli.
And then the left tackle is supposed to be an All-American. Other than all their good players, they're not that good.
I don't hear anything. Do you have the... Okay, so you did. Make sure that you have, the commercial playing on up program mono now. You're turning everything on, so you got to feed me everything in mono.
Yeah, I got everything on.
Okay. The only two things you need in mono is CBS Sports Flash and the computer, because that's the only two things that, will feed to us. And we'll hear everything.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
End zone. Touchdown, Michigan. 44 yards, and the Wolverines put their 30th point on the board.
Jim Brandstatter on the Michigan IMG Sports Network. Number 21, Michigan bombs Western Michigan 49-3. QB Shea Patterson with 3 TD passes. Number 5, Wisconsin beats New Mexico 45-14 in Madison. Jonathan Taylor, 33 carries, 253 yards, 3 TDs for the Badgers. Number 18, Mississippi State, a road win over Kansas State 31-10. Nick Fitzgerald, 2 TD passes. The running back, Kylan Hill, 3 total TDs. Down in Norman, Oklahoma, it's number 6, Oklahoma leading UCLA. It's now 42-13. UCLA just scored. QB for the Sooners, Kyler Murray, 4 total TDs for OU. Number 12, Virginia Tech leading William & Mary 38-7 in the third quarter. Number 23, Oregon 42-7 over Portland State also in the third quarter in Eugene. Down in the SEC, Alabama 7-0 lead, number 1 in the country over Arkansas State. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, 58-yard TD pass for the Tide. Crimson Tide have won 74 straight games over non-ranked opponents. In Columbia, South Carolina, the 24th ranked Gamecocks trailing number 3 Georgia. It's 14-0. DeAndre Baker, a 56-yard pick 6 for UGA. They also just added another TD run by the running back Swift. In the Horseshoe, number 4 Ohio State over Rutgers 7-0. In Notre Dame, number 8 the Fighting Irish over Ball State is 7-0. Tonight at 7 p.m., number 2 Clemson out of conference, traveling down to Cowell Field at Texas A&M.
Backwards and in.
Tigers and Aggies both
1-0
on the season. Here's Jimbo Fisher at A&M's Midnight Yell firing up the crowd.
I don't know the outcome of the game. I can't guarantee the end. But I promise you this. The way we play on the field, the heart, the toughness, the effort,
and if you want, you crawl under the table.
The Aggie way. You'll be proud of the team you watch.
It's thinking. I don't know if it's good thinking.
On the hardcourt, U.S. Open Tennis Women's Championship
right.
coming up here, about to get underway. It's Serena Williams and the 20-year-old Naomi Osaka. Serena, of course, looking for a record-tying 24th Grand Slam title. I'm Larry Ridley.
Eye on Fantasy Football, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Radio.
CBS Sports Radio.
Yeah. Ask them if they have a dryer up there.
It's everywhere. I'm a gravel truck. I'm busy laying the foundation for your city's newest suburb. You're stuck behind me, and I'm about to...
Oh, Tyler, I'm sorry, dude.
Rocks. Now you're swerving, but there's no avoiding this downpour. Better watch out for that guardrail.
And none of us brought a raincoat, right? Because we're all rocket scientists.
Agents will protect you from mayhem, like me.
Call Class of 82 BCS Allstate agent Jerry Anderson at 764-0015. Subject to terms, conditions, availability, and coverage selected. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company.
We are Symetria Recovery.
You know, if we knew that it was going to hit us at the time as it was projected, we'd be inside that building over there, guys. Sorry.
Opioid addiction.
I apologize
One
for this.
treatment team.
Counselors,
doctors,
nurses,
it's not.
psychiatrists.
This isn't how the show's planned. If we have a weather backup, it's in that room when we know it's raining at the time.
844
huh? Yeah, you've done it before. Yeah. Have you?
That's
okay, so y'all know we have a plan.
847-6999.
Hey, opioid addiction. We've got your number.
Atkinson Toyota has been proudly serving Bryan College Station and surrounding communities for over 25 years. Whether you're out just looking or ready to make a purchase, our professional sales team believes in doing everything possible to ensure a pleasant experience. Our facility has the latest in state-of-the-art equipment with highly skilled professional technicians. Whether you're out planning to purchase a new or used vehicle, require financing, parts, or service, Atkinson Toyota is committed to providing the excellence and quality that is Toyota.
You need help if you've been charged with a crime. The justice system is daunting. You need an experienced defense lawyer to obtain the best results for you. Steve Gustitis, attorney at law, has been helping people fight criminal charges for over 20 years. Call Steve Gustitis now to schedule your free consultation. 823-9111.
Again, I'm sorry,
Qualified people are ready to take your call. Let Steve Gustitis put his experience to work for you. 823-9111. Visit GustitisLaw.com today and get the help that you need.
As a child, you remember the day you got your braces off. As a parent, you remember the day the braces went on. Dr. Elms works to make the time in between as productive and enjoyable as possible. Experience tells Dr. Elms
Again, everything
the
we're
best
having right now is supposed to hit
plan.
at 6.
A great
Even this morning,
office
still
and staff
scheduled for
ensures a
6
great
today.
experience. And the convenience of a free shuttle makes the appointments easy and fun. Ask your friends, read our reviews. drelms.com.
The 2018 Fighting Texas Aggie football season is underway, and the Zone has got your coverage from beginning to end on all our social media platforms. Follow the Zone on Twitter at Zone1150, Instagram at Zone1150, and Facebook at Facebook.com/Zone1150. We've even got our very own YouTube page, Sports Radio The Zone 1150. The Jimbo Fisher era is underway, and the Zone has got all the sights and sounds you need. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
We've never done
Follow
this
the
before.
Zone on social media today.
Rain or shine, if there is an A&M game day, there is a Zone Game Day show sponsored by TexAgs.com. The Aggies are at home. It is Clemson at 6 o'clock. You probably know that by now. But when the Aggies are at home, I, Louis Bellina, am joined by some of the most loyal, faithful, or just plain crazy people I know. Olin Buchanan writes for TexAgs.com. You hear him 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. He is a part of the Go Hour of TexAgs Radio. Also joined, when the Aggies are at home, by Robert Cessna, long time. Did you say 40-plus years last time?
Yes, sir.
40-plus years. He is the editor of the sports page for the Eagle. The three of us will spend the next 2 hours, well, hopefully not all 2 hours in the rain, but we will spend the next 2 hours getting you ready for A&M and Clemson. The Zone Game Day show is located on the lawn of the Association of Former Students building. Believe it or don't, we are currently on the lawn in the pouring, and it is raining hard. We are currently on the lawn of the Association of Former Students building. Normally I say, stop by and say hi. Don't. Whatever you do, do not stop by and say hi to us today.
Can't wait to see this grass next week once it gets this nice rain. It's going to be really beautiful out here.
I can't wait till we have a lake starting to run right through the bottom of our table here. We're set up. We are kind of protected by the tent, not really. But we will talk A&M. We will talk Clemson. Matter of fact, I got a Clemson preview with you. Earlier this week, I visited with Will Vandervoort. He is with the Clemson Orange and White. And everything you're going to want to know, Tiger, yeah, that's going to happen in about 30 minutes here on the Game Day Show, sponsored by TexAgs.com. We're also going to hear from Dabo Sweeney off the ACC Clemson ACC teleconference. He spoke a whole lot of A&M, including what he thinks A&M's biggest advantage is in the game tonight. But Olin Cease, I do want to start. Normally we go what we learned last week, but it was Northwestern State, and I think we've all talked about it, written about it, blogged about it, podcasted about it, and I don't know how much there was to learn about it. I kind of want to start with the matchup we've been talking about for 9 months. It is the matchup of the day, in my opinion. It will be the A&M offensive line against that Clemson defensive line, because if the A&M offensive line cannot just find a way, then A&M's offense will have no way. Just, had no success, no chance against Clemson's offensive line tonight. So let us begin there. Olin, you first. A&M, their offensive line against Clemson, that All-American, maybe one of the greatest ever defensive lines.
Well, I think if you play them just head up, you're going to be in trouble. But, you've got some smart coaches that realize that too. So, first of all, I think you're going to see a lot of double tight end situations and try to spread that line out a little bit. And then I would look for maybe a moving pocket when they have to pass. I would not be surprised if Kellen Mond is the leading rusher tonight, unless he gets sacked a whole bunch of times. But they're going to try. I would think, you're not going to take that guy and just having stationary in the pocket, I wouldn't think. And then remember early in the game last week, A&M was getting pressure. Never got a sack. Why? Because Northwestern State just getting rid of the ball fast, running screens. I think you'll see some of that too, but they'll do everything they can just to slow down that line on the pass rush and spread them out when you want to run.
I've heard the double tight put forth quite a bit today. Does A&M really have two tight ends that should be on the field against that Clemson front seven?
I think so. If everything we've heard about, we've already know that
we have a
Jay
tight
Sternberger,
end.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I give the check mark to the single tight Does A&M have 2 tight ends?
Everything I've heard about Trevor Wood, he's a big guy with NFL talent. We just haven't seen it yet. But, again, I haven't seen or I haven't heard or seen whatever, however you want to put it, Jimbo Latois yet. And he's been very high on the kid, so I guess we'll find out.
Cease?
Yeah, I got to go back. I agree with him 100%. To me, Mon is the whole key, because whether you go with the 2 tight ends, whether you chip with the running back, every time you do that, you're going to take one person possibly out of the pass patterns. Mon's got to make great decisions. You look back, I like the mobile quarterback last year. Fisher went against the same defensive line. Didn't have a lot of success at Florida State when you look at the numbers. Of course, he was down to a second-team quarterback, but Fisher knows exactly what he's gone against, and I think it does go back to Mon. If Mon can't make plays, and yes, he made plays last week, I was amazed at his progress. We might talk about that later, but he's not doing it now against Western State. It'll be interesting to see, can he make those same decisions against Clemson, because he's going to have to do that, because if he comes out and he makes 2 or 3 critical mistakes as far as reads, leaves the ball on the ground or whatever, can't give somebody that's already a 2-touchdown favorite really, the short field. So I think there's a lot on Mon. Fisher puts a lot on his quarterbacks. Yep. So, yeah, I like Sternberger. We like Williams. We know if the hole's there, he's going to get it. But to me, it all goes back to Mon checking out to get in the right plays with his personnel and then executing.
So we have established, I think, already. I mean, we're not even like 5 minutes hanging out here.
We're done.
The number 1 key is Kellen Mond. The number 1 key?
Offensively, probably. Yeah, I think, look, the offensive line has to look, they can't be overwhelmed.
They can't be a human sieve.
Right, and I don't think they will be. Because
that's a given, though. It's understood that, look, if they're going to get beaten, it's a jailbreak on the snap, nothing's going to matter. So that's a given.
Okay. Then, I think the one area where you look at this from the A&M offensive perspective and say, this is where you can circle it and say A&M might have an advantage here, is with Sternberger. Who's going to guard him? Who's going to cover him? And are you going to do the old thing? The old thing. If it's a linebacker, he's too fast. If it's a safety, he's too big. A young quarterback or any quarterback, if you're in trouble, one of the first guys you look for is the tight end. So Mond has to make the right decisions, and I think a lot of times that right decision will be throwing it to Sternberger.
I want to go a different direction with Kellen Mond just for just a moment. It's not really just obviously making the right decisions, and to me the right decisions, nothing that hurts you. So the obvious no turnovers, don't lose 6 yards when you can throw it away. But his feet have always been something we've not wondered about. You knew he was going to bring to the table. His mobility. So his ability to extend play, scramble when it's going to break down, and that's what the Clemson front seven is going to do. That's kind of what I'm thinking when I think about Kellen Mond making plays. And it's not taking off running for 80 yards, but when you can buy 3 extra seconds with your legs, the defense can only cover so long. They get the pressure right on the snap, but he can buy you 2 to 3 extra seconds so that Sternberger can get that one step. If he can hit that throw, his legs, rushing yards, extending passing, his legs are the making plays. I think of when you guys say he's making plays more so than just hitting passes.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. I think people tend to forget that he was just a month into his college career last year, and he actually did some really good things against Alabama, and that front seven. Now, there was one nice scramble he had that he didn't tuck the ball, and at the very end of it ended up being a fumble, and then he had a guy wide open at the in the middle of the field on like a 3rd and goal from the 5 and threw it to the corner and got it intercepted like a lot of freshmen will do. And that's why I think, look, he can make plays against anybody. I think there's this idea that as good as Clemson is, that they're just going to come down and A&M should just lay down or whatever. This guy can make plays.
Wait a minute, 77% of all the Aggies I talked to has A&M winning. So I don't know who you're talking about that's saying that A&M's going to roll over. Who did you talk to this week?
Just a whole bunch of folks from South Carolina.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm not convinced. I'll be interesting to see. I'm not going to say that A&M's offensive line is going to kind of hold its own. I'm not convinced that Clemson's front 4 against the guy in front of them could win 3 out of 4 battles 60% of the time, which would really make A&M's offense disjointed and possibly struggle. I like McCoy, but once again, as this group is so good and so much experience, I'll be interested to see as the game goes on, play after play, mano, how many times A&M's, they don't have to win, just hold your own, but I don't know how many times they can do that.
Yeah, I said this earlier in the week on my show, a very simple concept, and I want to quit talking about the A&M offensive line, and they have a chance. No, they've been so bad for 2 years, and they've been really bad. People, I think, try and downplay it because we're all nice Ags and be polite about everything. They've been really bad for about 2 years. Last year especially, that was a really bad O-line. They were physically beaten, and mentally they missed so many schemes, blocks, calls, protections. They've been a bad O-line. And I'm tired of talking about them. And even if they don't win every snap, they can do enough in the Clemson game that we could see the progress, we could see where they're headed, that we can quit talking about them as a liability and see the future. I really hope at the end of the night, and that doesn't reflect on the scoreboard, that we can quit talking about the O-line and the Achilles heel of A&M.
Well, I think if that happens, we'll keep talking about the offensive line. We'll just be talking more positively about them because they are sending 3 sophomores out there.
Fight, physically
I don't
compete.
And
if you blow a protection, okay, but if you don't physically compete, those guys are NFL players. I get it. Physically compete.
And we hear so much about the change in scheme and the change of culture, the change of ideas, that they're not going to be, again, in a 2-point stance and backing up, that they want them more physical. Well, if you've been saying since January that, hey, we're going to be a more physical team and that we've done everything to become more physical, well, here's the opportunity to show it.
Without a doubt. And, of course, the atmosphere, you think these guys are going to play at their highest level. And I'm with you, Louie, because I don't know if I go as overboard as you just say they were awful. I get upset when people, you say, oh, they're not that bad. Yeah, they beat lousy teams, but against the good people in the last couple of years, they struggled. If it was 3rd and 1, you'd say, I'd say 70% they're not going to pick it up because that gets back to the O-line. So I'm with you. I think they're going to be tough today to pick up 3rd and 1 going straight ahead, but at least once in a while be able to do that against a good team.
We're going to take our first time out of the afternoon here on the Zone Game Day Show, sponsored by TexAgs.com. A weather update. The rain is slowing down. The sun is coming out. Weather update provided by me, Louis Bellina. The rain is way slowing down, and the sun is coming out. I do want to tell you, if you want to entertain yourself, you can watch the Zone Game Day Show because we put it on our Facebook page, Zone 1150. It's on our YouTube channel. Just search Zone 1150 YouTube. We're the first thing that pops up. And if you want to see 3 guys huddled away from the rain, which might – We'll quit being so close shortly. Our equipment has garbage bags on it. Everything is soaking wet. You don't get to see this every day.
You said our equipment is garbage? Oh, I'm sorry, miss.
Garbage bags. I'll call Dusty over. You repeat to his face. We'll have that streamed. Our first pay-per-view fight.
I would know who would win that one. Dusty, he just plow through me.
It is the Zone Game Day Show, sponsored by TexAgs.com.
For nearly 2 decades, TexAgs has been the #1 Aggie community online. And thanks to that community, we've been able to grow into so much more. TexAgs is now an industry-leading media company that covers Aggie football, basketball, baseball, and recruiting like nobody else. Our staff of over 30 consistently delivers in-depth analysis, X's and O's breakdowns, award-winning video content, and the most reliable inside information you can find. So if you love the Ags, come check us out at TexAgs.com and become a premium subscriber. TexAgs.com/subscribe.
Aggie football is here, and Texas A&M Transportation Services offers parking and shuttle options. Pay $20 and $25 cash to park near Bush Library, Bonfire Memorial off University, Northside Garage, or Agronomy Road. Ride free shuttles to campus lots, the downtown Bryan shuttle, or get to the grid shuttle from Momentum Plaza. For pre- and post-game traffic and parking info, or to purchase parking before the game, download the Destination Aggieland or Park Mobile app, or visit transport.tamu.edu/football. Follow them on Twitter at Get2AggieGame.
Catch the Beliucci Hour every Tuesday and Thursday from noon till 1, where we expect to see you at the tap to get your Aggie football fix with Ryan Brunninger, TexAg's lead recruiting analyst, and Beliucci himself. Get Aggie previews, reviews, and recruiting info, plus a special in-restaurant-only pick'em contest. And enjoy lunch specials, which always include a side and a drink. If you can't make it in person, watch the Beliucci Hour live on Facebook and YouTube. The Beliucci Hour every Tuesday and Thursday at the tap from noon till 1.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Your home for Fighting Texas Aggie football this season is on Sports Radio 1150 and the Zone 102.7 FM. Don't miss 1 second of the action with Andrew Monaco and Dave Elmendorf on the call as the Aggies take on the best of the best in college football. Texas A&M football on the Zone is brought to you by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Caliber Realty, Elms Orthodontics, and Gage Gandy Bell Bonds. Your home for Fighting Texas Aggie football this season is on Sports Radio 1150 and the Zone 102.7 FM.
We are back on the Zone Game Day Show. It's sponsored by TexAgs.com. Again, the weather update stands strong. The rain has left, and I'm going to put the for now. And the sun is starting to come out for now. And all this rain that's hit us was projected. Olin was checking his weather radar using the TexAgs 2000 back at the, over at the offices before you joined us here. You're checking the weather radar.
I was looking at actually weather.com, and it was saying that the rain was coming at 6.
Yeah, according to what we had yesterday, and I checked again once before noon today. It was 6 o'clock today.
You guys are so multi-talented. You've added radio.
No,
TV,
other
whatever.
People checked it for me.
But why don't you get a radio? Why don't you get a weatherman? I mean, you guys need these games. You guys could probably get that.
TexAgs has a weather hookup.
Do they? Weatherman. You got a weatherman?
We do.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is he the former Air Force pilot?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, wow.
Great job.
Yeah, so
he didn't tell you about this?
He said that there were going to be like popcorn showers. Well, it's
popcorn?
Like popcorn showers, but by game time,
I don't even know what that means.
I think it means like intermittent.
Okay, sure. Here's the good news with the rain right now. It might be messing up your tailgate a little bit. Throw on a poncho, have an extra beer, you'll be fine. But this might mean, though, for the actual game, we might have no rain. No, if it's all coming through now, that might mean when A&M and Clemson kick at 6:06 or whatever, we might have no rain during the game. What do you think?
But I always worry about something like this. Then another wave can come by. You know how weather is.
Okay, that's just going dark pessimist there. There's always another wave out there to take over. I just think maybe we'd have good weather.
It's not going to rain in the press box, is it? That's all. That's what Olin and I are worried about.
We'll see how the leaking as the roof holds up. What is Kyle Field year 3 now or 4?
Yeah,
for $500 million. I hope there's no leaks in it.
Year 4, new Kyle Field. That's where the cracks start to show. We're gonna see leaky press box. We came up with our first key of the game, and it's Kellen Mond making plays. And to clarify the making plays part, legs. It's just as essential, and I think it's more important than anything with the right read. And now checking plays. That's number 1 in his decision-making and the key. Number 2 is going to be his legs. And number 3, he's not going to have a lot of time, and there's not going to be a lot of open guys. He has to hit them when he finds them. I want to go to the defensive side. Last week, Northwestern State, Mike Elko did not have to do a lot, and we did not see a lot. And we've been hyped, and there's been a lot of expectation. He can bring pressure from anywhere. His defenses are aggressive as heck, right? So for me, what did we not see? So what do you expect to see tonight, Elko? What players, what is the A&M defense going to do to stop the run first, because that's actually what Clemson is, and get pressure on insert quarterback here? But what can we expect now from Elko?
Well, first of all, it's tough to even talk about last week when he's missing 3 starters in the second half. Yeah. I mean, first of all, we just don't know what he can do when he has all his guys there. And you're right, he didn't show them, but when Alaka, Wilson, and Hines wasn't there for the whole game, so that's 3 starters you were without. I did like a little bit even though it was Northwestern, that the linebackers looked like they were able to contain the middle. But once again, it was Northwestern. They didn't have any All-Americans in there or potential All-Americans in there. So you're right, Louis. First of all, with that alignment, does he have to bring another guy down the box? And I will say Larry Pryor might be one of those X factors because he had a few tackles, and you're probably going to need 3 guys in that box, not on the line, to stop the run. So I don't think he comes right out blitzing personally. Everyone talks about, if he can get by with just keeping guys back, because I think you got to guard right off the bat against the big play, because Clemson can throw the ball vertical with either quarterback.
I think it starts, like Louis said, is you got to stop their running attack, and but I think they're going to come in feeling like their defensive line can match up with the Clemson offensive line, and I think they'll probably see what they have to do early.
Just
can Key and Mack and Matabike and Durham, can they win up front? And I don't think you go into this game saying no. You say, let's find out, and then I think he'll adjust if he needs to, and I think he will bring a guy down into the box to help out against the run, or 2 as he feels necessary. But it's not going to be one of those things you see all the time. He's going to disguise things. He's going to change things up, and he wants those the Clemson quarterbacks to be a little bit confused and not exactly sure what A&M is going to do.
Just not knowing on any particular snap where the pressure, what side they're stunning from, who is going to be the extra guy if they're going to overload a side. It's just disguising pre-snap your intent. And very simple. But that's what he does.
And I went back and looked at his matchups when he was at Wake Forest with Clemson. He was able to force a lot of turnovers. I mean, he did make them pass a lot, so he just didn't run all over bad Wake Forest teams. But I think it goes back to a little bit what his MO is. He does like to bring pressure, likes to make you make a mistake. And even if you play the ACC teleconference, Dabo talked about that a little bit.
Which we will listen to in our second hour.
Like I said, he was able to force a lot of turnovers, his defense. So even at Wake Forest, he's got a lot better athletes here at A&M right now than he had at Wake Forest.
Yeah, and again, I think it all starts with the A&M front 4, and we've heard for a year that how good they can be, and this is the game where you got to go out and show you're as good as you can be. And we keep hearing that Dalen Mack has made these astronomical strides forward. That Matabike's due a breakout year. This is the year. Kingsley Key has moved out to the end, and he's as good there as he would be anywhere. And Durham, we saw what we got from him last year. So if these guys are all going to be big-time players like we've been told they are or can be, tonight's the night to prove it.
Something else playing into, are they going to prove it? We talked a week ago about the depth in the front 7, and do they have it, even though we see the potential of it? If you're going to hold up against an elite team like Clemson, and they have All-American type, all ACC types, and their offensive line, your depth's going to have to play. Your starters, 4 quarters, will get ground down if you can't get your backups in there to give them breathers here and there. We're going to find out, I think, and I think it's interconnected. The performance of the starters are going to depend on if the backups can get in there too. If they're ready to take a possession here and a possession there.
And it's complemented a little bit how long does A&M's offense stay on the field? How long does the defense
absolutely,
rest?
Sure.
It's hand in hand. And what Olin talked about the defense line, and I was going to expound on what he said. He's absolutely correct, because we seem to talk so much about the offensive line at times. The defensive line was better, but you're right, Olin. This is a good chance to see, is this defense have a chance to be an SEC-type D-line where you might have 1 or 2 players on all-conference honors instead of just, we've seen the progress, so it'll be interesting to see how they match up against a pretty good offensive line. And you're right, if those 4 guys can hold their own or even cause some havoc, then they can force Clemson to make some changes instead of Elko having to do some changes. So you're right, I'm going to be interested to see how Mack does in the middle and Kiki does on the end. That's 2 guys I'm going to be watching, because if they play well, then I think you got something.
Well, we keep hearing that, and we believe that A&M has some NFL caliber players on the defense.
I like that. We believed you. I like that. He said that.
Key, we believe it. Matabike is getting their back.
Every player you mentioned has shown it in bursts and spurts, but none of them have shown it for 4 quarters.
Right, and then,
that's the whole story.
It's a good team.
And Cease talked about how the offense has to help them out as well. And, if you go back and look, Florida State lost to Clemson by 14 last year, but if you'll go back and look, that game with 6 minutes to go was 17-14, and Florida State had the ball at the Clemson 40. They threw an interception, Clemson scored, then they had to go, 4 down,
sure.
and it turned into a bigger margin than it was. But that was a very competitive game with, quite frankly, a Florida State team that probably wasn't as good as this A&M team. And Fisher was able to call a game, maybe shorten the game somewhat, but call a game and be effective enough to stay close and keep it close into the fourth quarter. And, obviously I feel like that's the key tonight.
So the next key that we've come up with is the defensive tackles / defensive line. Mm-hmm. But the defensive tackles, because up the middle, they're going to have to clog it. They're going to have to allow Clemson to not have the running lanes. And that's going to allow, of course, the linebackers, who we think are strong, to make the plays.
Clemson's going to make some plays. You got to limit the big plays they make, and when Clemson scores,
but you got to make negative plays.
Oh, you're sure, and A&M has the ability
so that when they hit, Clemson, it's a positive play, but if you're making negative plays, it's a push.
I think what you really have to do is understand that they're going to have some of their big plays, but you want to minimize those. And when Clemson scores, make them have to work for it.
Man, they run on first down, make them lose 3. Second and 13 is beautiful.
Well, Owen's right. They're too good. They're going to make plays. When you see their skilled people and you see the offensive line they have and the experience they have, and we all get back, how many they're going to make? We've seen a lot of teams. Okay, you make a 25-yard run or pass, then all of a sudden you pick up another first down, but then you have to punt in your midfield. Can you stop them? Can you limit them? You don't want to get 20, then bang, 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 then another big play.
Do you think A&M's defense can play Clemson's offense even? Yes or no?
Yeah, I do. And I think that's going to be we keep talking about the offensive line and the.
Well, that's the side you don't think they can play.
Right,
Your open offense can do just enough.
I think the key to winning is going out and keeping the score low.
Defense got to answer right off the bat. I feel the defense to me has to be ready.
So if the defense plays a good game and keeps the score low, then you get into the fourth quarter with a shot, and who knows what happens. But I think really there's more. There's more, for lack of a better word, dependency on the defense tonight than the offense, even though we keep talking about the big matchup on the line against that great Clemson.
Well, it works like this. If you're going to win, the defense will lead the way. You have no chance if the offensive line doesn't show up. That's the way I describe the game. So you have no chance if the O-line can't handle.
Well,
but if you're going to win, the defense will lead the way.
And getting back to what he said, I'm always interested because we always see it from A&M's side. Now, I want to put myself, if you're in Dabo Swinney's shoes and you've had all these close games like you talked about happened last year, and you're coming in here and you feel like the defense, does he start out and take a lot of chances, or does he be bland, doesn't want to make a mistake against his defense?
I think he's got a true freshman quarterback. He wants to be a starting quarterback. I think he goes bland.
But I'll be interested to see how he approaches it.
I was going to say, I think what's really going to be very interesting from the A&M defense is if you have some success against the run, how are you going to adjust and maintain that success when they make the quarterback change and bring in the thrower?
Yeah, that's the challenge for the A&M defense, is how do you prepare and have success against two quarterbacks. When we return, we've been talking A&M. We're going to talk a lot more A&M. It's what we do on the Zone Game Day Show, sponsored by TexAgs.com. But when we return, Clemson, I have an incredible preview for you with a Clemson insider. We'll be right back. This is the Zone Game Day Show. It is sponsored by TexAgs.com.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. The Brazos County A&M Mothers Club invites you to the 2018 Howdy Tea, Thursday, September 13th from 4 to 6 p.m. This come-and-go event is in the press box at Kyle Field. Contact Donna Barrington at gmail.com for more information. The Brazos County Senior Citizens Association is hosting a craft fair on Saturday, September 15th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at their center on Bristol Street in Bryan. You're invited to the Cooks Point Volunteer Fire Department Annual Barbecue and Auction, Sunday, September 16th at the Caldwell SPJST Hall. Lunch starts at 11 and the auction starts at noon. The NFL season starts tomorrow, and you can hear the Houston Texans plus Sunday and Monday night football from Westwood One all season long here on the Zone. The Texans take on the Patriots at noon, and the Packers battle the Bears at 7 tomorrow here on the Zone. I'm Chelsea Reber for Sports Radio 1150 and the Zone 102.7 FM.
For nearly 2 decades, TexAgs has been the #1 Aggie community online. And thanks to that community, we've been able to grow into so much more. TexAgs is now an industry-leading media company that covers Aggie football, basketball, baseball, and recruiting like nobody else. Our staff of over 30 consistently delivers in-depth analysis, X's and O's breakdowns, award-winning video content, and the most reliable inside information you can find. So if you love the Ags, come check us out at TexAgs.com and become a premium subscriber. TexAgs.com/subscribe.
Gage Gandy Bail Bonds. We put your feet back on the streets. Now serving Grimes County. Fast professional service with the best rates in town. Gage